Hi, I'm Dan at vintagevelo.org, and today we're going out for a ride on a really cool 1963 vintage Legnano race bike. This one's the Gran Premio Legnano, so one off from the top. Roma Olympiad was the finest Legnano they made, but the Gran Premio was the same, just made out of fork tubing rather than Columbus SL. Basically, it just gave up about 100 grams to the Roma Olympiad. But for what I wanted this bike for, Falk was the way to go. This bike has just been freshly built with the intention of being a patina bike. It's not supposed to look new. I don't want it to look fresh. It's for going out on Eroica rides, things like that, big organised rides around Italy, Tuscany, on those white roads made up of this kind of stuff, gravel. That's going to bounce around off of this frame. If you take a freshly restored frame to that kind of event, you're probably going to be crying by the end of it as the paintwork's been chipped and knocked around. But this has been set up just how I want it. Everything, although looking old and period, is fresh, restored, ready. Crankset on this setup is Campagnolo on the front, Nuovo record, 52/42 tooth on the front there. On the back here we've got Grand Record derailleur, and that I think is running a 13/21 sprocket. I'd rather have a 13/26 to really make this better in the hills. I'll probably be swapping that out quite soon, but I just didn't have one to hand in time for this build. Everything else is new. Obviously the chain, the tyres, everything else, all the bits that fail have been renewed or replaced or repaired where it need be. But although this bike looks cool and looks used, everything is fresh, needs to be fresh and ready to go. Even the bar tape up front, it's new, but I've aged it to make it look old. I didn't want that kind of standout, glary, fresh look on anything on here. Of note, the flight saddle does work for me, so it's not quite as period as the rest of it, but for my bony butt, it works, and that's why I'm kind of sticking with it. You've got to imagine, you pay your money, you go to Italy, you fly, you've got all of your buddies there, you've got your hotel fees, your entrance fees. Who then wants to do 120 kilometers on something that's real hurting? So for me, this kind of setup is just what I want. I'm going to take it out now for a ride and see how it... Okay, so we're back here, the south of France today, taking the Legnano out for a leisurely hour and a half ride. The weather is incredible, and it's just a great day for riding any vintage bike, to be fair. Now, the Legnano, first impressions, I do find it is a really buttery smooth, nice bike to ride. Now, if you watch the build thread, you will know the intention of building this bike was to make it for big Eroica rides, organised Eroica rides, namely Italy, Tuscany, France, things like that. And with that in mind, I wanted it to be very reliable, very smooth, racy, but the kind of bike that you could ride for 120, 150 kilometers and not be in pain or crippling pain, other than the fact you've just ridden 150 kilometers by the end of it. And to be fair, I think that's what we've achieved here. I really like this bike. In the shakedown ride, I had two problems. The lower cable guide snapped and left me without any gears. That's been sorted out now, and my brake blocks were original and were truly shocking. So they now have been swapped out for some cool stop salmons, and that is so much better. Now the bike actually stops, and you know, something to really like. The groove set on this is the Campagnolo, and again, top, really good, quiet, easy shifting. I'm not getting any ghost shifts, I'm not getting any problems. It's just really nice. It's exactly how I wanted it to be, and I'm just rolling down a nice long steep hill here. The bike itself It's tracking really nicely, really straight. I could certainly, I'm not going to say confidently tackle alpine coals, but I certainly wouldn't be too scared of them, both going up and down them. Gearing's nice, and the whole feel of the bike, really, really good. This is the kind of thing you should definitely have in your stable, ready and waiting for those kind of rides where you want it to look really cool, really original, but perhaps just with a few mod cons hidden away to make sure that it's not too tough a ride. And obviously, because I can be a bit of an idiot, temperature's currently about 36 degrees, and I'm in full vintage wool get up, and it is really, really hot. But you know, that just goes with the territory. The wool's getting a little bit sticky. Everyone says merino wool is self-cooling. Not gonna go along with that opinion myself. I don't think this top is probably merino anyway, but all I know is it's very, very... Okay, just coming towards the end of today's ride. I hope you enjoyed this one. I really did. Really nice vintage Legnano, set up just how I wanted it and riding really, really well. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more vintage rides, builds and experiences. Thanks a lot, and we'll catch up soon.